Welcome back to the 0 to 6 Figure series. This is a series in which I showcase my portfolio. We're now on episode number 20, I believe, which is pretty cool. 20 episodes. Hopefully we can continue this series for as long as possible. Without further ado, I think let's just jump straight into it. Currently we are at just under $26,000. We were at 26,000 like a few minutes ago. The market seems to have dumped a little bit in the last few minutes, but nothing to worry about. This is a long-term portfolio. We're going to slowly get our way over to that six-figure mark. So I thought today what we'll talk about is two things. We'll talk about one of the best trades that has been the case for quarter four, I should say, being the L1 trade or the alt L1 trade. And then we'll talk about whether or not ETH is dead. A big question that a lot of crypto Twitter have been pondering. Lots of people have kind of thrown ETH in the bin, and I can understand why. So we're going to talk about both of those things. First of all, let's just quickly go through the portfolio. ETH is now at $2,400. Pretty interesting, because if we just look at a few days ago when I made episode 19, up fairly decently. And you could say the same about some of the other like L2s, Arbitrum, Polygon, like just over $1 there, 75 cents there, and now like $1.50 and over $1 for Matic. So pretty interesting to see kind of the market really rallying. Especially for those assets. The only addition from last episode, we talked about it in the last episode itself, was Say, which is down decently in the last hour, but yeah, we bought it in the mid-30s, I believe, and we talked about that in the last episode too anyway, so nothing new really there. Yes, my portfolio is definitely not finished. There are a few more assets that I do need to add, but we'll add them slowly over time. I mean, there's no specific rush. When I find the right opportunity, I'll go for it. So that's pretty much where we are now. First of all, let's talk about probably the best trade for quarter four, being the alt L1 trade. And it all started off with Solana, which absolutely sent it from literally October time, in fact, October time to now going over $100, meaning if you were to buy Solana a year ago today, you'd probably be 10x up in profit, buying at $9 now at 100 plus. I think it even went to 125 a couple of days ago, and that gives it a FTV of like almost 60 billion, which is pretty insane. And this happened whilst the FTX estate was selling their SOL as well. So like $1 billion worth of SOL was sold. Yeah, this just continued to rip, which is crazy. And it appears to be that that others have kind of caught on to this, and alt L1s especially have really outperformed. Avalanche is another prime example. Let's just look at the chart for the last 6 months, from $8 all the way up to almost 50. Nia is another example, going from just under $1 to over $4 there. Mina in recent weeks, the ZKL1 going from 35 cents, I believe, 35 cents to $1.36. Say, we've talked about on the channel already, going from 9 cents all the way to almost 50. Sui looks like it's doing similar things. And then recently, some of the L2s in the last few days alone, Matic going from 75 cents just like a few days ago to over $1. Similarly, Optimism also really outperforming. In fact, Optimism has really outperformed Arbitrum, actually, really outperformed, and now has higher market cap and higher FTV than Arbitrum does, going from literally just over $1 as well to pretty much $4. And in recent days, Metis, lots of people have been talking about Metis. What a trade if you kind of got in at $10 and now are sitting at a 9x in just a matter of a few weeks really, which is pretty insane. So the L1 trade has been really good. Why is that? Well, first of all, ETH has been a bit of a sleeper. It looks like there's been some big selling of ETH as well in this time period. Bitcoin's outperformed it. L1s have outperformed it. Deepin and infrastructure like Chainlink has really outperformed it. So the question is, like, people are like, now that we've got Solana, we've got incredible ecosystems, and there's airdrops left, right, and center, and there's lots of things in DeFi, and there's even new NFT marketplaces like Tensor out right now. Why on earth is anyone bothering with ETH? Why are we paying $100, $50 for a transaction? Some of my recent transactions have been like $30, $40, which you might have to ask, why are people bothering with it? What is the point? Well, I've got a case of basically three main reasons why I think Ethereum is not dead and why I think Ethereum and Ethereum ecosystem will have a resurgence, and I hope that it comes in Q1, and we're going to talk about those three now. So first of all, let's look at DeFi Llama, and you can see, like, if we just look at like all of the top apps that we have around today: Lido, Ethereum; Maker, Ethereum; Aave, Ethereum based; Uniswap, mostly on Ethereum; Rocket Pool, Compound, Convex, Curve, Spark, Eigenlayer, Frax Balancer. You know, the list goes on and on and on. But these are all like Ethereum, really, really good protocols, or apps, I should say, on Ethereum. Some of these are revenue generating with the likes of Maker. Like, I feel like DeFi on Ethereum is finally getting somewhere. Now, one of the concerns that people have is like we haven't had that game-changing innovation that we had last cycle with the introduction of DeFi, with the introduction of NFTs. You know, what is the new thing that's kind of come around this cycle? Is it the kind of proliferation of liquid staking? Potentially, and I think that's the first kind of catalyst that I think has something going for Ethereum. The likes of Eigenlayer, which have created this entire ecosystem around restaking, which was pioneered originally with Lido, with the original concept of liquid staking tokens, and now we've got these restaking liquid tokens. There's like a bunch of protocols like building on top of this. There's like a new one popping up every week. Eigenlayer seems to be like one of the hottest apps at the moment, with TVL like going up only and like reaching caps really quickly. And in January we should see a whole range of other LSDs supported, with like Frax LSDs coming as well. So I mean, I think things for Eigenlayer and things around the entire staking ecosystem around Ethereum looks really good, and I'm happy to see kind of things thriving around that. I think that will be a potential catalyst going forward for Ethereum and Ethereum ecosystem. There's no questions about that. Second thing for me has to be the upcoming EIP 4844, which will introduce these blobs, which essentially help the way that rollups are able to store call data. And essentially, this is going to hopefully really reduce transaction fees. We can see that the current gas fee for doing swaps, you know, are reasonable, you know, 20 cents, 30 cents for a transaction. However, after EIP 4844, this is going to reduce by a magnitude of potentially around 10x, resulting in gas fees being, I mean, comparable with Solana. I mean, yes, sometimes Solana is even less than a cent, but I mean, when you're paying 2 cents, I think that's a great upgrade. And this like is a game changer. And I think part of the reason why this is a game changer is because finally now what we'll be able to see is like some of these smart contract wallets basically take on the gas fee for you. So hopefully we'll see apps that don't even have gas fees. Hopefully we'll see all of this abstracted away. Account abstraction is becoming really, really big now as well. And I think, you know, Arbitrum is like the place for DeFi. Optimism is also a really good place to be on chain. I mean, Polygon are doing things. ZK Sync, obviously everyone is airdrop farming right now. There's tons of activity, or like whether it's organic or not. There are tons of activity. Arbitrum for sure has organic activity that you know, that has value, and I think like some of this value like does need to be priced in, and I think eventually it will do when we see when people realize like how cheap some of these transactions will end up being. So that's pretty exciting, and I'm really looking forward to this. So EIP 4844 should hopefully be coming in Q1. And I think that should be a catalyst for people to kind of look back on Ethereum, or look back at rollups anyway, and be like, wow, these are pretty good. The last thing is the ETH ETF. So I think, look, January 10th is when we should get the Bitcoin ETF approval for ARC. And then I think after that, it's really crypto Twitter it's really ETH's time to shine, I should say. I'm just reading what a runner XBT said. He says, then it's ETH's time to shine. Crypto Twitter is finally starting to notice. I'm certainly starting to notice. I mean, you could argue I'm biased as well. Look, ETH is my largest holding. Then I've got Arbitrum, Frax is a DeFi alt, Polygon is a ETH L2, Gearbox is an ETH app, Redacted is an ETH app. Like, I'm obviously Ethereum heavy, and clearly you can see that I don't have any Solana, I don't have any Avalanche, I don't have any Near, I don't have any Mina. So maybe I'm being a bit optimistic there. But I do think like the case for those three things that I have mentioned, you mean I could say even four things with the likes that first of all, DeFi is still 90% on Ethereum. Eigenlayer is introducing this novel concept of restaking, and I think there's going to be a thriving ecosystem around it. We've got the ETH ETF potentially coming, and of course EIP 4844. So I think like all four of those things together, I think hopefully that should give ETH and ETH ecosystem alts a boost, because they've generally been outperformed really badly. Other sectors have really outperformed ETH in this time period. Let's see kind of what happens going forward. I think the last thing to just show you is, look, this is the ETH BTC chart. I mean, lots of people were saying that this is going to go to like 0.3 or 0.27 or 0.36. I mean, so far it looks like we've got a good reaction from this 0.05 basically. Support, you could say. I mean, we had wicks coming to this in summer of 22. We had a wick coming here just a few weeks ago, really, when Bitcoin put in that big move up. You know, what's going to happen around here, I'll keep a close eye, but I think I genuinely think like it can't go lower than 0.04 in my opinion. If it did go lower than 0.04, I'll happily convert a lot of my portfolio into ETH heavy positions, because I think generally the outlook for ETH from now looks pretty good. You know, give me some arguments for why the ETH outlook doesn't look good from here. I've given you a few with EIP 4844, ETH ETF, thriving ecosystems, including Eigenlayer. Like, things look generally pretty good. And I think also we've seen alt L1s like already perform massively. Yes, they potentially could continue, but I think, you know, possibly some of this capital rotates back, especially whilst we're not completely in a full-on bull market where retail are here and everyone's here. I mean, certainly I can see that the signs are there that retail are coming back, and there are a few people in my friendship group who are like not particularly crypto active, but you know, they are kind of asking me about, you know, how things going in crypto these days and what crypto should I buy and things like that. So I am seeing glimpses of there, and of course my social metrics are going up as well, which is always a good sign, but it does tell me that retail are potentially coming back a little bit, but we're definitely not there yet. So I do think there will still be some PvP elements, some capital rotation going on, and I wonder if some of this will end up going into ETH ecosystem alts, ETH as well, L2s, some of the top apps within the ETH ecosystem as well. Just something that I'm personally thinking about. And so I think one thing that I will potentially be doing is kind of using this 4,000 USDC, especially if we get any further dips. If Bitcoin decides to fall, or, you know, perhaps the Bitcoin ETF is a sell the news event, maybe it is. If that is the case, I will use this 4,000 USDC. If it isn't, then I hope that we just continue to rip upwards, because I'm still allocated fairly decently, and things are generally going quite well. So yes, I know that my portfolio isn't finished, but I am looking forward to seeing what Q1 brings. There's so much going on in crypto these days, it's really hard to keep up. So I'll try and do more of maybe bi-weekly videos on the portfolio. I know that I have been, well, the 20 episodes that I have done have been over the course of well over a year. So maybe we'll increase the frequency of them as things kind of progress and as things get hot in the market, for sure. Let me know what you would like. Let me know in the comment section below. Let me know if you want me to do more videos, less videos. If you want me to talk about anything specific, let me know as well. I'll happily do that. So yeah, in this video, we covered the Alt1 trade and we talked about whether ETH is dead. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. So smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll be back with plenty more content in the near future.